Okay, welcome back. So in previous lecture we have seen the basic principle and some introductory part of instrumentation. Okay, so in this lecture we are going to see detailed instrumentation of Rutherford backscattering spectrometric technique. Okay, so first point is the what are the ion sources. Okay, so the ion beam used for the generation of particle is generally what, H plus or the proton or helium plus. Okay, or some in might some cases we are going to use some lithium isotopes also. So three types of sources are used generally. So once that ions are get generated from that ion source, they get transferred to the ion accelerator. Okay, so ion accelerator will increase the kinetic energy of that source particles, and it will be transported to the magnetic focusing chamber. Okay, so the ion accelerator are of two types. Okay, mostly widely used, there are two types of ion accelerator are there. One is the Van de Graaff electrostatic accelerator, and another one is the tandem Van de Graaff accelerator. Okay, and these are the widely used accelerators. Okay, so they produces the ions in various charged state, and even the spin multiplicity might also be changed during this acceleration. Okay, so the ions which are going to get out or the ions coming out from the accelerator are not only the singly charged ions, it might get doubly excited, or the some other spin multiplicity might also be changed. So we need to have the proper mm, like proper method to distinguish these ions. Okay, so only we require only the helium plus or hydrogen plus as a source. Okay, so for that we are going to use the magnetic focusing lens. Okay, or magnetic analyzer, like same instrument as that we have used previously. Okay, so magnetic focusing lens are used. So in that focusing lens we are having the, okay, so beam coming from the that accelerator is going to analyze into this magnetic focusing lens. It will select the ions based upon their mass and charges, and the remaining ions, okay, the remaining ions get removed from the source. Okay, removed from that coming source. So the beam size of around 1 millimeter per, okay, 1 millimeter is around selected. So small beam spot is selected. Okay, so this will gives you the more accurate okay, accurate ions. Okay, so which can be used for the better or reproducible results. Okay, so the magnetic focusing lens is used to distinguish the ions based upon their mass and charges. Okay, so the this is basically used for the distinguishing the ions based upon the charges and particular ions. Okay, now next is the sample chamber. Okay, sample chamber. So basic requirement is again like vacuum is required for this. Okay, sample. So again characteristic will be same as that previously we have seen that technique. So that must be vacuum compatible, solid must be vacuum compatible. Okay, and generally this technique is used for the solids and semi solids. Okay, because in liquid or in the other gaseous states, the backscattering output or backscattering yield is quite low. Okay, so once that ions get like incident or the uh, on the liquid or gaseous particle, it will be like instead of showing the scattering, they will like show the other phenomenon. Okay, so transfer of that energy, there are various ways for the liquid and gases. So in solid we are generally observe the backscattering phenomenon. Okay, backscattering phenomenon. So once that sample is being exposed to these ions, some secondary or not secondary, but the ions which are get scattered at particular angle are detected by using detectors. Okay, are detected by using certain detectors. Okay, so there are lots of mathematics involved in these techniques. Okay, so we are not going to detail on this. That previously we have also come across one formula. Okay, also some detector, also there are lots of mathematics. Okay, at which what particular angle we should be going to use, also the which type of current or some energy of that particular ions we need to choose. Okay, so depending upon that, various types of mathematical derivations are there. So we are not going to get detail into this. Okay, so we will see the basic outline of that particular analysis. Okay, so at we have seen like around 180 degree we will be having maximum yield of that particular scattered ions. Okay, but generally we choose the 170 degree. Okay, for the detection. Okay, so how that angles is come, that is not necessary. Okay, so just for timing, consider that around 170 degrees chosen for the detection of ions. Okay, so the detection of backscattered ion is usually performed by using the some solid state detectors. Okay, so either silicon barrier detector or the passivated implanted planar silicon detector. Okay, so the generally silicon detectors are used in the solid state for the detection of the backscattered ions. Okay, so for the helium plus and hydrogen, 1 to 2 mega electron volt passivated implanted planar silicon detector is used. So it will gives you the better resolution. Okay, so once that detector signal is obtained, it will be again amplified by using amplifier. So we will be having some high proportion of energy of incident particle which get amplified, and finally it get transported some electronics materials. Okay, and finally we get the spectra. Okay, so it is a this electronic also involves some complicated things. Okay, so various conversions are there. Okay, for signal conversions, so that also we are not going to see into details. Okay, so the thing which is important is basic principle and outline of whole instrument. Okay, so instrumentation and explanation of that particular components is important. Okay, so in this technique main part is the principle and instrumentation. Okay, so individual questions are not that much important. So we are going to get only like questions in terms of whole instrumentation of that techniques, or the principle and instrumentation one combined question. Okay, so kinematic factor we have already seen. Okay, so the application of this technique. Okay, so advantages we have already seen for this technique. Okay, so what are that, like we are going to get the better yield for higher elements. Okay, again depth profiling also possible. It will be like more specific non-destructive technique. Okay, so resolution is also good for this technique. Also we are going to get the good result. Okay, for the like ppm, up to ppm level we can get the good results. Okay, so what are the that are the advantages. So for the applications, there are main four important applications of this Rutherford backscattering technique. One is your the analysis of thin solid films. Okay, one is the analysis of thin solid films and surface layer. Okay, so in solid films like semiconductor industries, it is used for the instant ion implantation damage and damage handling techniques. Okay, so if there are certain impurities or certain damage has been taken place on the surface, that we can be easily determined by using this technique. Okay, some silicate formation or diffusion barrier on the surface is analyzed by using the this technique. Okay, so it is a quite fast technique, so you will get the results in the like routine analysis. This technique is used. Okay, so it will involve the surface analysis for the surface layer for the semiconductor technology. Okay, second is the applied material sciences. So this technique is generally used for the material sciences, in which the sorry, not semiconductor, alloys or some newly formed materials can be analyzed. Okay, and the composition of that particular ions or the newly formed material can be determined. Okay, also we also can determine the melting point of particular material. Okay, we can also determine the melting point of particular newly formed solid. Okay, so suppose we are having the material containing lead. Okay, material containing lead. So once we have use the temperature as a one factor. Okay, so based upon temperature we are going to get the various normalized yield for the particular. Okay, normalized particular yield. Okay, at particular temperature. So at for the we know that like for solid we are going to get the sharp peak, for liquid as well as for some semi solid we are going to get the broad peak. Okay, so due to the diffusion of that incident energy of that incident particles, we are going to get some broad peak into the for the liquids and okay semi solid. So for exact melting point we can use that also. Okay, okay, so next is the quantification, means we have seen the qualitative analysis. For quantitative analysis we are going to use one formula. Okay, this is the formula which is used for the quantitative determination of your ion. Okay, where your qa is the number of particles that are backscattered of particular ion. Okay, or particular atom. Okay, q is the total number of. Okay, so here qa is the number of backscattered particles. Q is the total number of particles that we are going to incident on the solid. Na is the areal density of the particular ion atoms. Okay, A is the particular ion. Okay, that we are going to consider. A is the analyte, simply analyte. Sigma is the differential scattering. Okay, differential scattering cross section. And delta omega is the solid angle detector. Okay, solid angle uh, difference. Okay, so what is the solid angle difference. Okay, so based upon this we can determine the quantitative yield of that particular ions. Okay, so this is the third application, and the last application is the spectral information. So the quantitative as well as qualitative information, that is depth profiling of the element of the surface, particular surface, also the which type of scattering atoms are there, and the position of that surface layer, and the depth of scattering atom, and the thickness of solid surface is determined by using the uh, this technique. Okay, this technique. Okay, so this technique like quite complicated, means lots of mathematics is involved. So we are mainly focusing on the theoretical parts. Okay, here we are mainly focusing on the theoretical parts, so we have not gone into the details of that mathematics. Okay, so we need to like understand only the principle, basic instrumentation of this technique, and last one is the application. So applications are general. Okay, like solid thin films and solid surfaces. Then material science, like it is used for the material science also. Quantification, you need to again remember that formula. Last one is the spectral information, that is how much depth is there as such, or the position of surface layer, particular surface layer, that can be determined by using this technique. Okay, so this is the Rutherford backscattering technique. Thank you.